Hello and season's greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 12 Days of Christmas movie reviews. It's been a while, but we decided to bring this back for the viewers. Everything that you've done for us, we want to give back. So for day one, we're going to be doing the 1974 animated short, The Gift of Winter. Now for those of you that were with us during Shocktoberfest 2017, we had done the 1978 animated short, Witch's Night Out, which is a sequel to this. So we figured we'd backtrack just a little bit. So in the original film, the town is dealing with winter not being the way it should be. Everywhere else it's nice and snowy and everybody's sledding, everybody's having a good time. In their town, dark, gloomy, no snow. Everything just doesn't feel right. So they decide that they are going to try to talk to the Ministry of Winter and figure out what they can do to make their town like everybody else. So they go on a huge journey, and throughout this situation, the townsfolk, they're tired of listening to nicely and goodly about the whole process of everything's going to be fine. So they leave. And during this whole situation, we have Malicious and Rotten from the sequel that don't like Halloween and everything. They don't like Christmas just as much. I mean, seriously, they are the predecessor. I mean, they are the Grinches of the 70s next to the 1965 How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And while they're out on this excavation, Small and Tender actually make an appearance and want to help out. When they get to the Ministry of Winter, they talk to him and say, "Hey, what's going on? Why isn't everything working the way it should be?" And the Ministry of Winter decides, "Oh, well, your town doesn't really, mean anything to me, so why should I even care?" During this whole situation, I say that word a lot because that's pretty much what this is. It's a situation. It's a very animated short film, so bear with me. Malicious and Rotten have some dynamite that they're going to blow up the Ministry of Winter with because they're tired of everything and they just want to have a little fun on their end. Well, throughout this moment of conversation, Small and Tender try to strike emotions through the Ministry of Winter, saying sometimes if you look in your heart and you want something that really means more than presence, more than anything that you want in the world, isn't that enough? And it strikes a tear in the Ministry of Winter's eye, and while that happens, the dynamite goes off and snow erupts all over the town. That's pretty much it. So I know this sounds like a really crappy way to start off the reviews, but I'm just gonna give you the kind of rundown on this because it is a 15 to 20 minute short, and they put about 10 pounds in a 5-pound bag. So what I like about this is the fact that they do have Gilda Radner playing both nicely and malicious in this one. Later on in the sequel you would have Catherine O'Hara playing that part, and we do have Dan Aykroyd playing nicely and rotten. Now, the things that I do kind of get a sense of liking it is they take they did take one nod to another movie from about, I want to say, 40 years prior. The way how they do this journey and go talk to somebody in charge or authority is very similar to The Wizard of Oz, where the person of authority is just basically downtrodden them and not listening to them one iota, and then eventually comes to see the light. Other than that, the one thing that I really didn't like about it is that the animation quality for 1974, it was very choppy, it was very primitive. I mean, Witch's Night Out was somewhat primitive, but there was a little more special effects involved. This one was just god-awful. And the one thing that gets to me is it's 1974. In 1965, How the Grinch Stole Christmas with Chuck Jones, it was great. Now, granted, the people that made it were called Leach and Rankin, not to be confused with Rankin Bass. So they might have been on a very short budget, but at the same time, this was right around the same era that Dan Aykroyd and Gilda Radner were getting into Saturday Night Live, so they must have had some form of a pay. So that's why I'm kind of a little irritated about it. One thing I noticed of the animation quality that I think is kind of funny to this day, if you look at the original Spirit of Christmas by South Park from Comedy Central, the way how they put their animation quality at that point, it almost, parallels this. So I will give that kind of, a vote of confidence just because of how funny it is. Now, it's time to grade it. We gave a decent grade to Witch's Night Out. This one, just on animation quality alone, I'm going to have to give it a C-. The story is interesting. The fact that they had Gilda Radner and Dan Aykroyd in this, cartoon, I enjoyed it. However, animation falls flat. And that's it. Well, there's going to be a lot more in store for the 12 Days of Christmas movie reviews. Sorry that this one doesn't sound as great. The rest of them are actually going to be pretty good. I figured we would just throw this one out, very much like Christmas Story the last time we did this, because it was just one of those situations where decent movie, it's been overplayed. This one, I would say it's a one watch. Watch it once, see what you think, and leave me a comment in the section below. Let me know whether you liked it or you didn't like it. Let me know whether you liked or didn't like this review. And as always, push the red button and ring the bell for some instant notifications on Dragonfire Entertainment. During this time right now with December and getting into the new year, YouTube has been going through a lot of changes, and a lot of small channels may not be around anymore. So try to help us out as best as you can, but most importantly, help out the rest of the YouTube community, especially the small channels, because isn't that what community is all about? Other than that, I'm Wildman Wes, and I hope to see you on day 2 of the 12 Days of Christmas movie reviews. Take care.